Coming up, putting tunes in your panel.
And propping like a boss.
And a new King of the King Airs. AOPA Live this week begins in just a moment.
Your plane is a valuable tool. With the Genesis Aerosystems S-Tech 3100 digital autopilot, you can rest assured you will arrive safely to your destination. The 3100 is the industry's most advanced autopilot for single and twin-engine aircraft, providing exceptional workload reduction, safety-enhancing capabilities such as straight and level mode and speed protection. To learn more, visit our website today.
This is AOPA Live This Week with Tom Haynes and Alyssa Cobb.
Well, go big or go home. That's part of the thinking behind Aspen Avionics' latest move.
That's right, Alyssa. The feisty little New Mexico company is becoming a member of the Aero Group, and that will give Aspen the resources it needs to play in the big leagues.
But at the end of the day, resources really became the issue, and we decided that a roll-up strategy was a good strategy for being able to take our company to the next level. You see now most avionics are very large companies, from Honeywell to Collins, now part of UTC. Garmin's a very large company. And then you see a lot of small players like us. And we felt that the best strategy to meet our customers' needs and to provide new products to be able to compete with the big guys was to combine with other companies to do that.
The Aero Group companies are in defense technologies, drones and autonomous systems, and electric aircraft. That gives Aspen a lot of ways to branch out.
Bottom line means is they're going to start seeing more products out of us, maybe broaden our product line, be able to provide different maybe form factors for our displays, branch out into other parts of avionics to provide higher integration and be able to compete better.
But John told me that Aspen will remain a general aviation company and they will continue to support all Aspen products.
We're all general aviation pilots at heart, and we see the same thing, and we want to make sure that we provide cost-effective and avionics solutions for people and keep this a competitive market, because competition is what drives prices down, and we need that in our industry.
So, Alyssa, big news for Aspen. Great to see them get some investment, maybe able to go to the next level.
That's right, and we had them a few years ago in our Get Your Glass sweepstakes airplane. Their avionics were featured, and so great that they'll hopefully be able to expand through this.
Yep, absolutely.
The new king has risen, or the flagship of the King Air line at least. Textron unveiled the King Air 360 this week. The new airplane features auto throttles that provide over torque and over temperature protection. The system provides flight envelope protection as well in engine out operations and can be used in the takeoff, landing, and go-around phases of flight. The pressurization system is also new. The digital system provides 5,960-foot cabin altitude at flight level 270. Now, the first King Air 360s are on the assembly line now, and Textron says that deliveries will begin this fall. The base price of the King Air 360 is set at $7.9 million, and the 360ER will set you back $8.75 million. And speaking of the King Air lines, the FAA has proposed an airworthiness directive requiring a one-time inspection of numerous Beechcraft King Air and Queen Air models. It's to check for fatigue cracking and lower forward wing fittings. Can be caused by a particular washer on the left hand and right hand lower forward wing bolt. The AD would require the inspection to happen with 200 hours of flight or 12 months from the date it becomes effective.
Textron's timing on that new King Air may be just about right. With the airlines struggling, the folks with personal bucks are turning to general aviation apparently. Textron boss Scott Donnelly told financial analysts that orders and deliveries are strong on the light side of their product line. Now, by light, he means aircraft like the twin-turbine King Air and the Citation M2 jet. He said corporate customers, meanwhile, are conserving cash right now, so things aren't as strong for the bigger jets like the Latitude and the Longitude.
Well, the tea leaf readers predicted it, and now Boeing has confirmed it. Sadly, the mighty 747 has reached the end of its run. The last one will roll off the production line in 2022, and Boeing will make fewer 737s, 777s, and 787s than previously planned. And COVID-19 gets most of the blame.
Okay. Raise your hand if you've ever landed on the wrong runway. Many have, or at least come close to it. And the FAA has just released a new animation to the Runway Safety Pilot Simulator. This one focuses on the anatomy of a wrong surface event. That is, using the wrong runway or taxiway.
There are many ways we can improve the human factors affecting the pilot's environment and reduce wrong surface landing frequency. Be aware of the pavement, lighting, and markings you are landing on. Verify correct runway alignment while on approach and prior to touching down. Familiarize yourself with chart supplements, airport diagrams, and NOTAMs, especially at airports with parallel runways. Check magnetic compass orientation. Reference instrument approach courses and other tools. Eliminate distractions during critical phases of flight, including ill-timed flight instruction or passenger conversation.
The FAA also has a series of videos showing the actual approach and taxiway footage at some airports that are notorious for wrong surface events and runway incursions. As we like to say, know before you go. And before you go in Colorado, something new to make the go, no-go decision a little easier. 52 new weather cameras are online in the state. The program is from the Colorado Division of Aeronautics and the FAA. The cameras allow pilots to get real-time views from 13 different mountain AWOS sites. Nearby peaks are shown for reference. The program is based off the Alaska WeatherCam program. Find the feeds at weathercams.faa.gov.
One, you can never be too safe. Well, almost never. Father and son team of safety presenters Barry and Brian Schiff recently gave a runway safety webinar. It was watched by father and son Tony and Anthony's son. Now, Anthony is 6, and he paid really close attention. A few weeks later, the pair is going flying in Tony's Cessna 152 Aerobat, and little Anthony wanted to make sure his dad had heeded the warnings in the seminar.
Yes, right with Foxtrot.
Please ask them if there's anyone on your runway where you're taking off.
Oh.
You remember on the video that we saw?
Right.
The helicopter and the airplane almost hit.
Right. Okay, we'll see.
Please tell them that, okay?
Okay, we'll see.
Number 7340 Bravo Long Beach, Tower, runway 26 right, taxi via Kilo, when able to change my frequency 119.4.
Roger, 26 right, Kilo, 19.440 Bravo.
Ask them if there's anyone on your runway. Ask them
Number
if
116 uniform, check to follow, short final now.
anyone on the runway.
Insight, 16 uniform. You don't want to do that yet.
When are you gonna do that? When are you gonna do that?
I probably won't do that, okay?
Aw. Well, you know, that's better than are we there yet? What a little safety reminder.
Yeah, absolutely. He is very persistent, if nothing else. He clearly paid attention to the video.
He did. You know, and there in the longer clip, he says it's getting busy. You know, so he really is paying attention to the airport environment.
He's very aware, that's for sure. That's great. We need him in some automated systems, that voice in some of the automated systems to just keep hounding the pilot, right?
Yep, maybe a future instructor in the making.
Yeah, right. And speaking of safe, there is a safe way to hand prop an airplane and lots of dangerous ways to do it. AOPA Editor-at-Large Dave Hirschman offers some tips for how to crank the engine when you are the starter.
There are lots of ways to mess this up, but hand propping can be a great way to start an aircraft engine, and with a vintage aircraft like this Kinner Sport Wing, it may be the only way. Here are a few tips that were learned the hard way. First, get some help. Having a qualified person in the cockpit vastly enhances your odds for success.
Mags are off and brakes.
Give the airplane a shove to confirm the brakes are applied and that they're holding. Treat the propeller as if the magnetos are always on and stay clear of the propeller arc. You're less likely to get a rude surprise that way. Communicate. The pilot in the cockpit and the person swinging the prop must be on the same page.
In our case, we're using the terminology contact, meaning mags are hot, mags are on both. The engine and the prop are hot, and mags off, means the mags are off. You don't want to use mags off and mags on because in windy conditions or difficult to hear, the off and on can be difficult and confusing.
Okay, contact, it's hot.
And then to prop the airplane, you want your hands on the outside of the prop as much as you can. Don't wrap fingers around the back of the blade. And it's a good idea to have gloves because rings or anything on your finger can get hung on the prop and you don't want that to happen. It's not important for a big hefty push of a prop. If you've ever seen somebody prop off like a Beech 18 or one of the big radial engines, it doesn't take much. And it doesn't take much in these airplanes. You're really just looking for the prop to swing and for that magneto to click.
Finally, step away from the propeller arc as you pull it through. Tailwheel airplanes are easier to hand prop because of their nose-high attitude on the ground. Metal propellers and low compression engines help too. Don't attempt to hand prop a tricycle gear airplane with a high compression engine. There's simply no good way to stay a safe distance from the prop disc. Other pilots have already made just about every conceivable hand propping error, so there's no need to repeat any of them. Dave Hirschman, AOPA Live.
Hey, when we come back, the dream of commercial passenger spaceflight is closer than you may think.
Yep, and jamming out en route. We'll be right back.
The future of USB charging power has arrived. Introducing new, ultra-fast charging TA360 USB chargers. Unlock the power of USB Power Delivery PD technology. Max power. Multiple configurations. In-seat, cabin, cockpit, and galley USB power. Easy to install. Backed by the best. True Blue Power, the USB experts.
Welcome back. Your dreams of going into space are getting closer to reality. Virgin Galactic just unveiled the cabin design for Spaceship Two. The company says it's all about enhancing the astronaut experience with reclining G-force managing seat, mood lighting that changes with each phase of flight, and 16 HD cameras to capture the flight experience. And you can get a jump start on your trip to space with Virgin Galactic's One Small Step program. If you fill out an online form and submit a $1,000 refundable deposit, you'll be put at the front of the line to buy a ticket when the next batch becomes available. There's no word yet on exactly how much a seat will cost, but Virgin Galactic says it will be more than $250,000. Wow, start saving for that small step. Now, SpaceX and NASA are celebrating the successful completion of the first Launch America mission. The mission marks the first time astronauts have flown to orbit from U.S. soil since 2011. Now, you may remember we covered the historic launch back in May from Cape Canaveral. Since then, astronauts Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken spent 2 months at the International Space Station before starting the 19-hour journey home that ended with a splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico. Well, congratulations, Bob and Doug, on the successful mission. Wow, way to come to, full circle. And Tom, you got to watch them lift off down in Florida.
Yeah, we did. It was great being down there to see the launch and then spend part of my Sunday afternoon watching them land, splash down in the Gulf of Mexico, get plucked out of the water, and see them finally emerge from the Dragon capsule. That was pretty neat. Great to see. Welcome home, guys.
Yeah, that's right. Great accomplishment. Right. Great to be back in space. Yeah. Well, if you're a fan of ABC's The Bachelor, you probably know who Pete Weber is. The main star of the reality series this past season is an airline pilot. And AOPA's Jennifer Nahn recently caught up with them to talk flying in a pilot lounge interview.
What's your favorite part of general aviation?
GA. GA will always have a very special place in my heart. I still keep up with it. I'm gonna be doing a lot more of it now, but it's just, I don't live too far from my local airport, so I like to. I mainly fly Cessna 150, Piper Apache, A little bit here and there. One of my buddies has an RV7. I get to fly around, and then now with the Icon A5. Those are the main airplanes I fly, general aviation. But I'm all about doing fun trips in it, doing a weekend getaway up in the mountains, or taking a plane over to Catalina, which is just a small little island here off of the coast here off of LA. I love general aviation. It's just such an adventure, and it's a different type of flying than airline flying, obviously. So yeah, I plan on doing that as long as I can.
You can see the full interview on the AOPA Live YouTube channel. It runs more than 45 minutes and covers a lot about the reality star and his flying. Just search for Bachelor on our channel.
Or are you just craving some tunes while you're cruising along at 6,500 feet? Well, SiriusXM now has just what you're jonesing for. SiriusXM has a new radio out called the Tour, all touchscreen. It's got a lot of other capabilities like voice command when you're in touch with Wi-Fi. So I went ahead and put the Tour in my airplane. So let me show you what it looks like. So one of the challenges is to find a place to put the Tour radio because it has to be considered a portable installation. So it's not like you're going to put it in the panel and permanently mount this thing. So I tried a couple of options. One, tried to put it on the glove box door with Velcro. Well, that didn't work. First hot day, it just fell off. So finally decided here below the throttle quadrant was a place to go. So I actually attached the mount that comes with it down here. Then became a matter of running the wires and kind of tidying it all up. So you can see I've got them run up here to power. And then also coming out of here, we've got out to the music jack, which I have over here. And I've tidied the wires up running along the bottom of the panel here using these little wire clips. I got those on Amazon for like 50 of them for like 10 bucks. And then the other wires coming over here running up to the antenna, which goes on the glare shield. They're going to tell you on the packaging that it has to go outside because it's designed to go on a car. And it's magnetic and will just stick on the outside of the car. Well, that's not going to work on an aluminum aircraft, of course. So despite their warning that it has to go outside, I put it on the glare shield. Works fine, but it does have a magnet in it, so you got to keep it away from the magnetic compass or that'll really mess things up. But it seems to be fine, doesn't cause any interference at all. I got to tell you, in flight, it's really nice. You get a pair of quality headsets, light speeds or Bose, something with active noise canceling, and put it on. It's great stereo, really quality sound coming out of it. And it really makes the cross countries go by in a hurry. You can carefully adjust the volume so that you can still hear ATC, you can still talk to your passengers, no problem, and got great entertainment kind of going on in the background. And then like a lot of audio panels, this PS Engineering one has the ability to mute when ATC comes on or when a passenger talks. You can turn that on or off as you want. So let's give it a listen.
So whether you want pop cool or something heavier rock or classical or news, commentary, sports, comedy here, and probably what will happen is you, like I do with cable at home, when you got hundreds of channels, you're going to settle on a half a dozen or maybe 10 that you like, and you can store a lot of presets on here, so it's easy to jump back and forth from your favorites.
We're told the new Tour radio will be available later this month from Sporty's Pilot Shop for $150. And I got to tell you, Alyssa, it's fun having tunes available. I was a skeptic for a long time, but now I'm kind of a believer. It really is fun. Makes the time
So do you
fast.
listen to I'm a Believer when you're in the airplane?
Oh, good one. Yeah, I like that. Well, hey, that's it for this week. Thanks for being a part of the show. We'll see you again next time.
Yep, and as always, let us know what you think. The address is on your screen.
My name is Justin Smith. I'm an aerospace engineer at Lockwood Aircraft Corporation. I use SiriusXM weather because flight planning is a critical part of flying a high-performance aircraft, and the same can be said for a slow aircraft. In the air cam, it's easy to lose track of time. We're often having a lot of fun, and onboard weather is critical because having up-to-the-minute radar makes the difference between getting soaked in an open cockpit airplane on your way back from a trip to the beach and making it home just in time and getting the aircraft in the hangar and the door closed. And I can really thank SiriusXM for having that up-to-date, by-the-minute information, always a very accurate radar picture, and the coverage is unbelievable here in Florida. Often the air cam will fly as low as 500 feet. It's often hard to get any other aviation weather products, so SiriusXM has saved my bacon several times there.